riding subways and collecting pigeons. That's right, it's Word Traveler from Office Dog. In this linguistic puzzle of sights and sayings, 2 to 5 players each play travelers in a foreign land. Over the course of 2 rounds, they'll attempt to navigate a new city by communicating a limited number of words to the locals. If they can visit their target locations and collect enough points to win in just 2 rounds, they will win the game. Setup begins with the game board. Select a city for your game, either New York, Paris, London, or Tokyo. Set the board in the center of the play area and prepare the score track by setting the pigeon score marker on the Word Traveler sign. Then, based on the number of players in your game, place 6 golden souvenir tokens on certain spaces. Check out the sweet diagram on page 2 of the rules. We're setting up for a 4-player game, so we'll place the tokens on these spaces. Each player then chooses a color to play and takes the matching marker placed on the center board space. 5 arrows. The first 3 will be in their supply and the 4th and 5th will be placed nearby. And passport. Shuffle the word cards into a deck. They have both a black and a white side, but neither is the front or back, so the sides can be mixed up. Set the deck near the board along with a supply of footprint tokens and the sand timer. Finally, shuffle the map card deck. Deal 1 map card face down to each player and return the rest to the box. Players should look at their own map card but do not show the others. Map cards have a grid matching the game board. On each map card, a number of different spaces contain circular symbols and star symbols. The circles are each worth 1 point, while the stars are each worth 2 points. The owner of that map card will need to get their player marker to those locations to score those points. However, players cannot move their own markers during the game. As the French say, "Oh no!" Gameplay occurs over 2 days. Not literally. It's 2 rounds, but they're each known as a day, day 1 and day 2. Each day proceeds through 3 steps: prepare, plan, and travel. First up in the prepare step, all players set their arrows in ascending order. Then they each draw 10 word cards into a personal hand. Players can use either side of the cards during the game. Everyone then opens their passport and slides their map card into the right side, remembering to keep it hidden. Next, the plan step. Begin by flipping the sand timer. Each player now has a limited time to plan a path on the board, beginning from the center space and proceeding up to 3 moves away. To set a move, the player uses their arrow and sets it in the cardinal direction in which they wish to move. They then place any number of word cards with that arrow to hint at their desired location. The arrow denotes the direction they'd like to travel in a straight line. The cards provide hints to which space they want to land on. White cards provide a hint that describes the location, while black cards are something that the location is not. After the first move is set, the player should plan the next 2 moves, but starting from the space where they hopefully were placed by the other players after their first move. They rotate the arrow in that direction and provide more word cards to hint. They follow this process for the 3rd move as well, assuming they start on the space they hinted at on the 2nd move. Once the sand timer expires, time is up, and everyone sets aside any unused word cards. Then play moves to the 3rd step, travel. Each player takes 1 turn. On their turn, the active player is the traveler, who moves around the city, while the other players are the locals, who are attempting to figure out the traveler's planned moves. The traveler reads out their moves, starting with the direction of the first arrow and its hints. Once they've said all of their moves and hints, they cease to speak for the turn. The locals now attempt to guess the traveler's intended path. They discuss and choose to move the footprint token of the traveler player in the direction and space they wish to stop. Once they've declared their answer for the day's travel, the traveler reveals their map card and the team gains points for each space the footprint token entered, not passed through or over, which matches a point space on their map. While scoring, if the pigeon lands on a space with a golden souvenir, they gain it. If the locals guessed incorrectly, the traveler can now reveal their intended path. In either case, their footprint token is moved to where they intended to be at the end of their travel day. This is their starting space for day 2. Once all players have resolved their travel turn, play moves to day 2, which plays the same as day 1 but with a couple exceptions. In the prepare step, the players add their 4th and 5th arrows into the game and can give up to 5 directions on their move this time. Players flip their map card to its opposing side and use that for day 2. Once day 2 is complete, the game is over. Players count up the number of souvenirs the team acquired and compare their score to the chart on the back of the rules. Are you lost in translation or a word traveler? And that's the basics of Word Traveler. I'm Becca Scott, this is Good Time Society y te debería gustar este video, suscribir al canal y volver para disfrutar de más juegos fantásticos y buenos momentos. Adiós.